They will tell us to stay indoors the entire plane of our Earth for a short period of time. Again, it is not to be feared. Governments and authorities will most likely tell us that this green mist caused by this event is a toxin. They will tell us to stay indoors and not go outside into the radiation. Avoid it at all costs. They will say it's harmful radiation. And it will be. For those who have heavy metals in their bodies, i.e. vaccines, iron from meat eating, etc. But for those without harmful chemicals in their bodies, the radiation will radiate and activate dormant DNA, potentially giving you supernatural abilities. Maybe not Superman-like, however, a heavy increase in consciousness and your five senses will be expected. And for those of us planning to make the pilgrimage up north to the central realm of our Earth, aka the Garden of Eden, this will be our window of opportunity. Many of you here will also know the Mayans predicted the end of their calendar year, or the apocalypse, would happen on the 21st of December, 2012. Take note of this date, December 21st, 2012. The Bible also talks about the 7 trumpets of preparation before the return of Christ, or the Son of God. And after the 7th trumpet, he, the great Son, will return. Well, we hypothesized that the Mayans were spot on with their prediction. Their December 21st, 2012 date marked the beginning of the end. And the 7th trumpet, of course, 7 years later, December 21st, 2019. Which means December 21st, 2020 will be the first year after the 7 trumpets, the 8th year. 8, of course, being the number of completion. And it is also written that everyone on earth will witness the return of Christ consciousness, or the Son of God. Side note, we are just citing scriptures. None of us on the team here are religious or trying to push any dogma on anyone. On the 16th of November, 2017, we had a very strange phenomenon occur in this realm. Many of you will remember the red sun and red skies we witnessed and experienced in most of the world. We hypothesize this was a sign of what's to come for those who are paying attention. I know everyone here probably witnessed and experienced this phenomenon, but how many of you actually took note? Of course, mainstream narrative at the time was that it was nothing important, just dust from the desert blocking the sun, and so that little solar event came and went with hardly anyone taking note. Well, for those with eyes to see and ears to hear, please take note. Moving on, we hypothesize that the opening of these electromagnetic torus fields on the 25th of December 2020 will create an atmospheric plasma discharge due to all the different solar systems of our cosmos being in direct contact with one another. This will create a rainbow effect atmosphere all over Earth in all the realms, an atmospheric twilight, if you will. More importantly though, this opening event will also allow for physical travel between all 4 realms or domains for those with the technology or means to do so. We might call this real interdimensional or outer or inner space travel. Here's another big red pill. NASA has openly admitted on numerous occasions that we humans cannot go past low Earth orbit or beyond the Van Allen electromagnetic belts or domes. However, during this period, we believe we will finally be able to do so. And what does that mean for us? Well, all these different realms are going through their own individual cosmic shifts, seasons, and ages. Because the spiral ripple began at the center, it technically means that, at the center, the inner dome or realm is 3,000 years ahead of us. They have already had 3,000 years of Bronze Age, where we in this realm haven't yet. Our reset happened 3,000 years after theirs, which means, during this 7-day cosmic event, anyone able or allowed to enter this inner realm will technically be time traveling 3,000 years into the future, or ahead of time. In layman's terms, I'm saying that this inner domain is 3,000 years ahead of us technologically, physically, mentally, spiritually, and consciously. And yes, this is where we propose the concept of time travel into the future comes from. And on the flip side, as the ripple is shifting outwards towards the Mars domain, they would now be 3,000 years behind us. So, going from our plane to theirs, we would be time traveling backwards 3,000 years. So, why on earth do the leaders of the free world think it's necessary to militarize space all of a sudden? And why on earth are space agencies and governments all talking about being the first to colonize Mars? Let's look at the definition of colonization. The act or process of settling among and establishing control over the indigenous people of an area. Or, the action of appropriating a place or domain for one's own use. Makes you wonder if the very same so-called elite royal bloodlines and families who colonized this realm during our reset fall from gold to iron 3,000 years ago are about to do the same thing to this outer domain currently falling from their